Right, Poppy, have you seen me watch? I've looked everywhere for it. Not down there. I normally leave it in the bedroom. Tara? Tara? No, she doesn't want to know. What have you done with my watch then?
Well, I put it in the freezer because it was sort of hanging about
Done
everywhere.
what?
I put it's in
In the freezer?
yes. Well, I needed a place that I'd remember where I put
Okay.
it. So I remember that I put it in here.
Right. That's an unusual place to put
Well,
it.
there it is. Yeah, you see,
Right.
it rests quite nicely in there.
Yeah. It's out of the way, is it?
Yeah. Would that all be all right? Do you think?
Well, it's supposed to be US military certified, so...
Right. Ah! I dropped it in there now.
Yeah. It's also waterproof as well. There we are. Yeah, it's got a stainless steel strap as well. So I'll dry that off and perhaps we'll have a look at this little watch. Now, I get offered a lot of free products to review as a YouTuber, as a so-called influencer. And I don't say yes to a lot of them. But as I've been diagnosed as pre-diabetic, and I've been on this pre-diabetic course since March, one of the first things the tutor on the course said was to get yourself a smartwatch. He said it didn't have to be an expensive one, just something that can monitor your steps and perhaps one or two other things, and you can keep an eye on how you're doing with your fitness levels. So when Kospet offered me this smartwatch, I thought, well, I might as well give it a go, and it will give you a bit of an insight into smartwatches, because I've never had a smartwatch. Last watch I had was a wind-up type, and I never thought I needed a smartwatch, so I thought, well, perhaps I do. So let's see how I got on. So the watch itself is currently discounted at £103 on the website. I'll have links in the description below. It's £165 if you get it with the strap here. It's a rather nice stainless steel, sort of dark colour stainless steel strap, and it feels quite comfortable. It does come with a plastic strap if you prefer that. So let's have a look at what you get in the box. It comes in a cellophane wrapper. There's a couple of pull strips on the back, and it's quite a job to actually get it out of the box. I had to give it a few shakes to get it out. I just pull the film off. That's it, and that's the watch itself. Feels quite chunky. It's got two buttons on each side. Weighs about 75 grams, but I've got it with a stainless steel strap, which makes it weigh a little bit more. And that's the charging case. It's magnetic, and I found the watch actually lasts for about 6 to 7 days before it needs charging. I leave it to about 30%. I've charged it 3 times now, and that's the plastic strap. So this is the stainless steel watch strap I've used. And then you've got screen wipes and screen protectors, and a little manual, quite useful to get you going. There's also a tool for taking out the links between the watch straps. I haven't actually done that, but I did experiment with taking out the links in the spare bit of strap, and it's quite easy to do. It's a little device that you poke in, and it pokes the pin out. But the watch strap I got actually fits quite nicely. And there's a screen protector, wipes. So a bit like the screen protector you get for your phone, only on a smaller scale. You give it a wipe. The cloth there to dry it off. If it's particularly dusty, you can use the dust thing, but there's the screen. I didn't bother with that, and this screen has worked quite well. Just turn it over and carefully position it on the screen and drop it down, and it's just how I think it clears the bubbles itself. Give it a little bit of a wipe once it's down there, and it's good to see that they're actually providing these as standard, because you can always change one of these. It's not so easy if you crack the screen, but having said that, the screen is pretty tough. and I spent a bit of time getting the thing in. It couldn't figure out which way round to go first of all, but it's got a little clip on there. It's very difficult to show this on film, but you push the clip down and eventually it clips into the watch. It's not difficult to do, just a little bit fiddly. And there's the watch. Yeah, make sure it fits. And the strap as it came was just about right. I might need to take a link out a little bit later, depends how much weight I lose, to be honest. But it seems all right. It does sort of fit quite well on my wrist. A quick look at the manual. So the phone itself is compatible with both Android and iPhone via an app. I've linked it to my Galaxy S24 Ultra. It links to an app, and I'll show you that how that works. And you can view stats over a day, a month, a year, or whatever. It's pretty tough. I've banged it on a few door handles a couple of times, taken it into the shower with me, and it's still unmarked. It has 15 US military certifications. I think it looks pretty good. It's quite chunky, and it weighs 75 grams. It weighs a little bit extra with the stainless steel strap. But most importantly for me, it will monitor my heart rate, my blood oxygen, my blood pressure, my stress and emotion, and it automatically recognises six types of different workouts. Right, see if I can show you the controls on the watch. It's not going to be easy to film. 4 buttons: up, down, back and select. So if you press the button there, that gets you into call logs and contacts, and you can take and receive calls, and you can dial calls out there. That's the back button. Call logs, mainly been calling Jenny, and access to your contacts there. Press the back button. So the down button gives you access to information about your daily activity, how many steps you've made and how many miles you've walked and all that sort of good stuff. Back, and you've got a music player there which will link to your phone to play music. It monitors your heart rate, tells you how much oxygen you've got in your blood. It tells you your blood pressure, which you measured 9 minutes ago. It tells you I'm not too stressed. You can monitor your emotion. I was calm one day ago. It gives you the weather. It's overcast and cool. You've got the alarm, so I could set an alarm for tomorrow. I can adjust that later, show you later. It tells you how much sleep I had. And I've got stopwatch on there. And if it's recorded any workouts, that will be on there. And lastly, on this screen, you've got a timer. Press the back button. The top button, these are like shortcuts really. Top one there is for using your phone, and you can do calls that way. It connects to your phone. That's the brightness adjustment. That's for switching it on silent so it won't bother you. That's a similar sort of thing, but that cancels the wake and vibration and notifications, sort of like a don't disturb me thing. That's the one that you use to raise to wake on. So when you lift the watch, it switches it on. That one is very noisy. It finds your phone. That's the flashlight, and basically it makes the screen white. Quite useful in the dark. And there's your alarms. And you can add other shortcuts as well if you want to, various ones. So the button up here gives you access to all your shortcuts here, all the apps on the watch. So you've got call, you've got daily activity, you've got workout, you can record a workout manually. It will give you access to your workout records, to your heart rate, how much sleep, the blood pressure, blood oxygen again, the stress and emotion. That's exercise one, isn't it? Music player, voice assistant, which I haven't actually managed to get working, if I'm honest. I don't quite know how that works. The weather, it's got some breathing exercises on here you can follow. What notifications you've got. Stopwatch, that's quite useful. Access to a stopwatch. There's your alarms. A timer, you've got preset timers and you can customize it as well. Calculator is very useful if you need to work something out, it's on your wrist. You've got remote shutter, and that will allow you to take pictures with your phone remotely, so if you want to do a selfie from some distance you can do that. Flashlight, that makes the screen bright. That finds your phone. There's women's health, I haven't gone in there at all. There's access to the settings in here as well. Now, to be honest, it's a lot easier to do it on the app, the settings, so but they're all there. So that's it, and you can access those menus either by swiping down, swiping right, the main menus, swiping left, the notifications, or swiping up. But I tend to use the buttons, it's easier. Yeah, so obviously you need your phone for this, and you need to scan the QR code that comes in the manual, and that will take you to download the app for it. There's a bit of setup to do, pair it with that. You can use a QR code to pair it, but I didn't find that I needed to use that. And then it syncs to the watch syncs to the app, and then there's the inevitable update, which took a few minutes to do, but it wasn't too bad. So let's have a look at the app itself. This is the home page here, and at the top you've got how many steps you've done, how far you've walked today, and how many calories you've burnt. So I'm not doing too well at the moment, it's still early morning. It tells you what your heart rate is, and it's monitoring your heart rate over a week, over a month. And if I do set it to a week, it gives you an idea of what sort of exercise you are doing. Now, a lot of my heart rate is in the resting area there, and it says that I'm doing 4% warm-up and 1% fat burning, so I'm not doing, according to this, enough exercise. I think that's basically what it's telling me. I go back, I'm probably getting enough sleep because I'm actually away at the moment. It tells you how much sleep and what type of sleep you're getting, whether you're getting deep sleep, light sleep, REM, or whether you're awake. So that was my sleep last night. If I overlook, it depends really if you've got it on all the time. I wore it last night really, so you can see what it can do, but obviously if you're not wearing it, it can't monitor your sleep. But it gives you an idea of what sort of sleep you're doing. So that's quite handy. It monitors your blood oxygen, and honestly I'm not sure what benefit that is there, but it's a crucial parameter of the respiratory cycle. You can monitor your stress levels as well, but you have to press a button to do that. It does monitor your blood pressure, which is quite interesting. And over the week there, my blood pressure, according to this, is in the high normal blood pressure. So it's normal blood pressure, but it's on the high side. Now I understand that's correct if you're over a certain age. And then it's got some indicators there, and it tells you, if you've got what the highest, what the lowest, and what the average was, and gives you some comparisons. So I thought it was really useful. In the sports area, it records what sort of exercise you've done. You can set it, and I've just set it, so that it will automatically register what sort of exercise you're doing. So that's quite useful. So on the device itself, you can make some changes. You've got the ability to change the watch face gallery, which I showed earlier. And you can choose different ones, and you can I think it looks like they're adding to this actually. You've got some really quite amazing designs here, and you can choose those, or you can use your own picture, or you can have an always-on display. Obviously that uses more battery, but yeah, no, they're looking interesting. That you can set some of the settings on the app rather than on the watch, so you can choose the screen timeout time, the display and brightness. You can set the raise to wake, and that's quite useful. You put that on. It's when you lift the watch. That's when you lift the watch and it comes on. Difficult to show on there. You lift the watch and it comes on. There you go. So when I turned it round, yeah. Find the watch. Device found. Oh, all right. Found you. Thank you. The weather settings, that's really setting the temperature. If you're in the UK, we tend to use centigrade rather than Fahrenheit. You've got some more settings there, and those are all the settings that you can do on the watch. If you prefer to do it, you can do them on the app, like the remote shutter and so on. You've got app reminders. Please allow permission so that the device can receive notifications and control the music player. So there's various ones there you can set that will give you notifications, and you can choose which ones you want to be able to give you notifications. Incoming call reminders, and you can actually answer calls on the watch itself, which is a bit strange. SMS reminders. You've got a thing called sedentary reminder. That's to remind you to get up and move around when you've been editing for ages. And alarm clock, health monitoring, contacts if you want contacts on there, SMS quick replies, SOS call, better not hit that, system update, and you can reset the watch as well. Under the Me setting, it's got my profile, weekly reports, goal setting, how many steps you want to set that to, and it looks like you've got some official shops, forums and customer service access there as well. It's got links to Strava as well, didn't know that. Okay. So how have I got on with this watch? Well, to be honest, I think it's been more useful than I expected. It's good to be able to monitor your health, particularly if you're on a bit of a health kick, and know that you're on the right track. It's also useful for other things. I mean, taking calls when you haven't got your phone to hand, if it's in a bag or something like that, or perhaps even somewhere a little bit further away, you could answer calls. I found myself answering calls on here, which was a bit was a bit strange. In summary, I never thought I would need a smartwatch, but I'm very glad they sent me this one. And if you want to check out, there you go. If you want to check out this this watch, the links are in the description. Do have a look at the website. I think it's pretty tough. I mean, they make a big thing about it being tough. It feels fairly solid. I have to admit that I've scratched the screen protector, which is why you've got a screen protector in the first place, and there's a little bit of paint flaking on there as well, so I don't think that would be immune from getting scratched over time. But like I say, I've been wearing it most of the time and I have banged it several times. It's waterproof, it's heat proof, it's fridge freezer proof, so I think it's a pretty good watch, and it's half the price of some of the bigger names. So it may be worth looking at. So I hope you found this interesting, and if you did, give us a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one. So thanks for watching. Bye now.